What's up YouTube? John back today with the actual haul video. Gonna go over Wondercon experience this past weekend, a few pickups from there, as well as pickups from early 2023. It was good to be back at Wondercon. It was my first time back since 2019. This time brought my two daughters as well. Um, they've enjoyed starting to go into conventions. This would be their third con, their first being Long Beach, second being LA Comic Con. And just went on Saturday. Background is a metallic print by Cheung, wraparound cover. Beautiful piece. I always knew it was looked familiar, but I couldn't pinpoint where it was. That I saw it, and funny enough, this was the wraparound cover for these Marvel's Chronicles. It's kind of ironic because this was actually a Christmas gift from my cousin Chris back in 2008, and I had been, away from comics for over a decade, and kind of this gift going through it kind of stimulated me to just read trade paperbacks again, and then slowly start collecting again. So it's funny, I couldn't pinpoint it, and then when I came home and after talking with Jim, I realized that I actually had the book that this print was representative of. But otherwise, WonderCon was great. I always enjoyed it. It's kind of that medium-sized convention where you don't feel overwhelmed like San Diego. Not as many big names like in past years, but definitely still a great group of artists. I was happy to see, Carl Allstetter there, catch up, and those that followed my videos in the past, I'll show you. This is my first sketch cover from him way back in 2014, and that was actually my first, comic convention as well, and my first time in Artist Alley. And it was meeting Carl. I knew he was an artist with the X-Men back in the 90s, as well as Bloodstrike, but just an overall great positive interaction with Carl. And really, I credit Carl for kind of my slow migration from just being a comic collector and drifting over to the art side. That being said, I wanted my daughters to meet Carl, and he was kind enough to add sketches there to their sketchbook, so I started these sketchbooks for them to bring with conventions. They've been slowly adding artist names to it, but Carl was nice enough to do an awesome sketch. One of my daughters, Danica, came dressed up as Ghost Spider, and Carl did this, Ghost Spider sketch and did it for free as well. Very, very nice guy. Just said it was on the house for him, so I was thrilled to have that. And then for my other daughter, who came dressed up as Shuri, Carl did this beautiful watercolor piece of Shuri as well. So always happy to kind of support artists like that. Very talented, very down-to-earth, nice guy. Thank you, Carl. I did pick up a few prints from him that he signed for my daughter. This was a mashup. You got everything in there: My Little Pony, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Capcom, Marvel, DC, and then he signed it for them too. So I appreciate that, Carl. Very memorable experience. With that being said, I also, ran into Cheung. In the past, I ran into Cheung back in other WonderCons in San Diego, but he's always pretty busy, so I really never had a chance to talk with him much. Fortunately, this time I was able to chat with him and his wife some. They met my daughters, and he was actually also did a free sketch. He asked my daughters what they wanted, and Alexis wanted Rogue, and he hooked it up. Free head sketch, which is very rare these days now, with everybody trying to flip. So I understand why artists no longer do it as much, but Jim was very nice talking to Alexis for doing that. And then he also, for my other daughter, did a free sketch as well of Scarlet Witch. So really, really appreciate that. Thank you very much, Jim. I had to pick up a print from Jim as well. So this was a fun print my daughters liked. Kind of the kid versions, Jim has a very unique style, very, very flexible style too, and signed it there for the girls. So thank you very much, Carl and Jim. It really, made my daughter's convention. Then I picked up this. I usually don't pick up too many prints, but there were so many good prints there. I picked up this one from Larry Houston, who was involved in producing X-Men the animated series. He's serving as a consultant for X-Men 97, so he did tell me if everything goes according to schedule, we should be seeing them sometime in October of this year, hopefully. This, is a villains piece of all the villains that showed up in the X-Men animated series. All right, kind of go into a few other art pickups outside of WonderCon, but in 2023, I had this, came home, wasn't expecting anything, but this was in the mail. Random Act of Kindness from Ariel Olivetti, one of my favorite painters from Argentina. Opened it up and he gave me a free watercolor piece of the penguin. Just gotta zoom in, just look at the intricate detail. You see the comb over for Oswald Cobblepot. Look at the different shades and layers of watercolor, the glasses. Just love Ariel's details to attention. Thank you very much, Ariel. I appreciate that. And also a very cool pickup of mine that I'm thrilled to add. This is done by Lee Garbett. So it's the X-Men 60th year anniversary. So the UK Royal Mail decided to do an X-Men stamp collection, and this is the villain set with kind of Juggernaut, Mystique, Magneto, Emma Frost, Sabretooth, signed by Lee Garbett. And this is Lee was nice enough to mail a copy of the actual stamps itself, so these became available to buy in February. So many thanks to Quan Chang as well as Lee Garbett for that. Thrilled to add that. And those are the pencils, and this is the inked piece. So all done by Lee. So got to get that framed up as well. But thrilled to add these classic X-Villains to Magneto front and center, Emma Frost, Sabretooth. What's cool is these are available in stamps as well as postcards. So, I'm usually not a stamp collector, but I'm gonna have to pick me up a set as well. And then lastly, this is a mail call from Juan Ferreira. Yeah, not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but many thanks to Court for facilitating this. This was actually a commission request in 2022, but Juan didn't get to it until 2023. I really love his mixed media style, very unique style. I asked him to kind of do a montage of Magneto highlighting the different aspects or different remarkable events in Magneto's history. So, here you have Juan highlighting Magneto ripping out the adamantium from Wolverine during Fatal Attractions. Here you have alternate universe in the Age of Apocalypse universe where Magneto actually rips Apocalypse in half. Then here, another different universe. This is Ultimatum Magneto, where Magneto, destroyed the world. Here you have X-Men 200 Magneto in his purple costume when he became the headmaster. And then here you have young child Magneto back in the concentration camps, and then kind of just the centerpiece. You could just feel the energy in this piece. But yeah, I wanted to kind of share my thoughts on WonderCon, and really everything comes full circle. I mean, just with Carl, meeting him back in 2014, if I had a negative experience, that might have just completely threw off my art trajectory. Before then, I was just solely a comic collector, but after that, I slowly transitioned to art. 2016 fully went, you know, into most art, and then published OA. And then, I was happy for having to get a chance to meet my daughters, and I'm sure, that has an impact on them as well. So, thank you, Carl and Jim, for the positive experience. Thanks for tuning in, as always, everyone. John signing off.